Have you ever walked into a meeting or been asked a question and completely blanked out? Like your brain slammed the brakes right when you needed it to step on the gas? You're not alone. Whether it's a tough question in a job interview, an unexpected confrontation, or just a moment where words escape you, we've all felt the anxiety of needing to think fast and talk smart. But what if there was a way to train your brain to respond gracefully, confidently, and clearly, even when you're caught off guard? Matt Abrahams is a communication expert who teaches at Stanford's Graduate School of Business. In his book, Think Faster, Talk Smarter, he tackles the everyday challenge of spontaneous speaking, those high-pressure moments when you don't get a second to plan, yet your response could shape how you're perceived. The book was born out of years of research, teaching, and personal trial and error, and it's deeply relevant in today's world where clarity and confidence are more valuable than ever. At the heart of this book is a simple but powerful idea. Spontaneous speaking isn't a gift, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be practiced, improved, and even mastered. You don't have to be born quick-witted to communicate effectively in the moment. You just need the right tools and the courage to use them. So, how do you begin to think on your feet and express yourself more clearly under pressure? The book outlines 6 fundamental principles for spontaneous communication, and each one helps turn chaos into clarity. Let's walk through the most impactful ones together. First, start with structure. Most people think improvisation means making things up on the fly with no plan, but ironically, structure is what makes spontaneity work. One of Matt's favorite frameworks is what, so what, now what. Let's say someone asks you in an interview, tell me about a time you failed. Without structure, you might ramble or freeze. But with this framework, you begin with the event, what, explain its significance, so what, and then share what you learned or did differently. Now what? It's like giving your thoughts a roadmap. No more wandering, just a clear journey from start to finish. Try it the next time you're in a pinch. You'll be amazed how grounding a simple structure can be. Second, manage your anxiety, not by eliminating it, but by redirecting it. Most of us try to fight our nerves, but nerves are just energy, and that energy can be fuel. Matt encourages us to reframe anxiety as excitement. The physical sensations are almost identical: racing heart, shaky hands, quick breath. The trick isn't how we interpret them. When you say to yourself, I'm excited to share my ideas, instead of I'm scared I'll mess up, your brain follows your lead, and your words come out more confident and calm. Think of a time you felt butterflies before a presentation, a date, or a big decision. Did it mean you weren't ready? No, it meant you cared. Use that energy. Third, practice presence, the art of being in the moment. One of the biggest traps in spontaneous communication is overthinking. You start mentally rehearsing your next sentence, worrying about how you'll sound, and boom, you're no longer listening. Presence begins with listening, deep, active listening. Instead of focusing on what you'll say, pay attention to what's being said. Respond to what's actually happening, not what you fear might happen. One of Matt's exercises for building presence is simple but powerful. Try narrating your surroundings in your head for 30 seconds. What you hear, feel, see, smell, it centers you. And once you're centered, you can engage. When you're present, you're not performing, you're connecting. Fourth, embrace imperfection. Spontaneous communication isn't about being flawless. It's about being authentic. Mistakes will happen. You might fumble a word or lose your train of thought. But when you own it with grace, you build trust. Matt shares the story of a CEO who once started a big speech by dropping their note cards. Everyone laughed, and instead of panicking, the CEO smiled and said, Well, I guess we're going off script. That moment wasn't a disaster. It was human. And that's what people remember. Not your perfect grammar, but your presence and sincerity. So when you trip over your words, don't freeze. Breathe. Laugh. Continue. People won't judge you for the stumble. They'll respect you for how you stood back up. Fifth, set your intention before you speak. Instead of worrying about how you'll sound, ask yourself, what do I want the other person to feel, understand, or do after I speak? This reframes your attention from self-consciousness to purpose. For example, if your intention is to inspire confidence in a team, you'll naturally speak with clarity and energy. If your goal is to calm someone down, your tone will soften. Intention shapes delivery. And when you speak with intention, you speak with impact. So the next time you're about to talk, whether it's a sales call, a debate, or even a first date, pause and ask, what's my intention? It changes everything. Lastly, practice, but practice smart. You can't predict every situation, but you can simulate pressure. Matt encourages rehearsing in realistic ways. Try mock interviews with a friend. Record yourself answering random questions. Put yourself in spontaneous conversations. The more you build the muscle, the less it will freeze when it matters. Think of it like going to the gym for your communication skills. The first reps are shaky, but over time, you get stronger. You learn your rhythms. You develop your voice. And you become someone who can step into the unknown with confidence. Now, let's step back and pull it all together. Think Faster, Talk Smarter isn't just a book about communication. It's a blueprint for presence, clarity, and confidence in the moments that matter most. We've learned that structure is your lifeline. Anxiety can be transformed. Presence builds connection. Imperfection invites trust. Intention drives clarity. And practice makes power. These are tools anyone can use, whether you're a student, a leader, a parent, or just someone who wants to feel less frozen in conversation and more in control of your voice. The real magic happens not when you memorize the perfect lines, but when you trust yourself to show up fully, even when the spotlight is unexpected. So here's your invitation. Pick one idea from today and apply it in the next 24 hours. Try the what, so what, now what structure in a conversation. Reframe your nervous energy as excitement, or take 30 seconds to center yourself before a call. Small shifts, big impact. And if this resonated with you, the book Think Faster, Talk Smarter by Matt Abrahams is filled with even more stories, exercises, and insights to help you build this skill in real life. Because ultimately, the smartest talkers aren't born that way. They're trained, and so can you be. You've got a voice worth hearing and a mind worth trusting, even in the moments that surprise you.